Good morning. Welcome back to the channel. I appreciate you guys for watching. And what do we have here today is a 1991 or 2. I'm not sure, I didn't ask him. But, you know, Toyota Soarer. And what we got going on today, oh, this is, it's not Armstead spec, but it will be. So what we got going on today is AC not working, okay? And started poking around in there a little bit and saw that the compressor was completely locked up. So I'm like, fuck, all right, where do we go from here? Well, I jump on the old fucking interwebs. I started doing research. It took me about between 15-30 minutes and found all the answers I needed. I didn't have to go into a Facebook group and ask the same fucking questions that was asked 30, 40, 50 times to waste everybody's fucking time. So a little bit of Googling, I found a website, I found a Toyota website that has all the part numbers listed for all the cars in the JDM market. Kind of like here, I use Lexus Parts Now. It's just an online parts catalog for Lexuses, and that's how I get all my part numbers. But it's a different website, obviously, in Japan. But I was able to, actually no, I'm lying, not Japan, but Russia. My apologies. It was a Russian website. So I was able to find part numbers for everything. And luckily for the owner, and luckily for all you Soarer guys out there, about 75% of this AC system is interchangeable with Lexus SC300, with the exception of the AC lines and the evaporator. But the condenser, compressor, expansion valve, and the dryer, part numbers are the same. Obviously not the evaporator because it's behind the dash and is configured for left-hand, right-hand drive, blah blah blah. But anyways, so if you guys watched my AC overhaul on my wife's IS300, sorry, you'll see I basically did the same fucking shit. So yes, I'm gonna go ahead and take everything off. Since I'm not replacing the evaporator, even though these cars are very simple to get to, it's just behind the glove box. I couldn't find any in stock, so they were discontinued by Toyota, and I couldn't find any aftermarket replacements or whatnot. So no big deal. I'm gonna flush it out like I did on my wife's IS300, which is still freezing balls to this day. In this South Florida heat, for those of you that don't know that I'm in South Florida. Anyways, so unlike the IS300, SC engine bays or Soarer engine bays, Z30 engine bays are huge, lots of room for activities. So with the exception of removing this intercooler piping and maybe this AC condenser fan and the splash shield underneath, I shouldn't have any issues removing this compressor, and so I'm pretty stoked. Anyways, I have to get my floor jack out of my vehicle and jack stands because I had to take them to a house call that I did yesterday for a CV axle on a Toyota Highlander. But anyways, let me get those things out of my trunk, bring them out here. We'll get this bad boy on the air and start taking that splash shield from underneath and seeing what we got. So alright, so far done some basic shit. Battery's gone, intercooler piping to the anti-manifold's gone. I got the V-belt taken off, but just hanging on the engine still. But as long as the AC compressor doesn't have the belt on it. I've removed the splash shield underneath, all those 10 mils that's under the car. Remove that little AC condenser fan that's right here. It's like an E fan. It's sitting right there. Brackets on the radiator, so I can push that back and get more access to the condenser. And then on the condenser itself, you have both high and low pressure lines that go to the front of it here on the left side of the vehicle. So I'm going to have to get an extension through the grill here up to the bumper and go all the way in and do two 10 mils that are there. It's hard to see on the camera, but get a long extension, something like this. That, if you can see it in the video, a long boy, you know, and just get in there with a 10, break them loose, get in there with a long tip screwdriver to kind of prime off the condenser because they have O-rings on them. It's going to be a little bit of resistance. That's it, the condenser should slide right up. And then I can work on removing the AC compressor, which is super easy. I'll get into more depth in that once I get ready to start wrenching on that part. But the evaporator behind the dashboard in the glove box, that's another super easy but just time consuming. He does have ABS, which kind of limits the amount of room I got there, which it's not terrible, but it's like, fuck man, you know, that's just one more thing that's in the way. I know Randy's Soarer didn't have ABS, so I was able to just fucking get right in there and, you know, didn't have to like cut my hand up and all kinds of stupid shit. Anyways, it's hot as fucking balls. That's what I got so far, and I'm just gonna keep fucking going at it. I do have to start pulling R12 out of the system. I don't know if I mentioned that yet, but this car still has R12 in it, and I'm gonna have to do the R134A retrofit, which if you're gonna do that, you're gonna have to flush the system. You're gonna have to flush the system and change the dryer regardless of if the AC is blowing cold and functioning properly. That's because I think the oils aren't compatible between R12 and R134. I could be wrong, but I know for a fact you gotta flush it and change the dryer. But luckily we have all that stuff, so and it's really nothing. It's just a couple fittings. You take these R12 caps off, and it's an adapter that goes screws right onto that. I think you gotta take the Schrader valve out. Take this old Schrader valve out, screw the new adapter on there. It's gonna sit a little bit taller, which is just kind of annoying, but you know, it is what it is. Because trying to find R12 refrigerant, I haven't personally tried to look for it, but I hear it's super fucking expensive because they're trying to like phase that shit out. Even though, yeah, it still is available and you need a special license to purchase it. Still, just save yourself the fucking headache, save the money, switch to R134, don't listen to the hype. R12 isn't any colder, it's not any much better. It's just R134A is just better for the environment, and it's cheaper to use. So enough of that bullshit rant I just did. Let's get started. Gonna drain the system. I have a refrigerant waste tank I gotta get out of the storage, and then I got a vacuum pump I gotta hook up and start pulling out, and then I could take this stuff to a local place, Eagle Overhauling, and they could dispose of it properly, because yeah, don't let refrigerant out into the atmosphere. It's super bad. So anyways, let's get started.